it's using these words minimum and maximum. Those are also on your homework site. All that a minimum means is you've got a concave up parabola and you're looking for that point because that's at the bottom of the parabola. So concave up parabolas have a minimum, concave down parabolas have a maximum point. So sometimes this might be like a profit equation, population. So where is the population the highest? Where is the profit the highest? This would be a minimum type. What would you be looking for the minimum of? Well, this could also be a projectile, right? Where does the projectile reach the highest point in the launch? Minimums, maybe you want to minimize cost of producing a cardboard box based on the cost of, or a soda can based on the cost of aluminum, but it needs to be a certain volume. So minimum values, you're looking for the bottom of parabolas. Maximum values, you're looking for the top of the parabola. So I'll do the first one with you. And then I want you to try 2, 3, and 4. It's kind of the same each time, but it's helping you practice finding the vertex. So it says find the minimum value if the function is y equals x squared minus 10x, that should say plus 21 right there to read, and the x value that created it. How do I know it's a minimum value? Well, this is a concave up parabola, right? It's going to look like this if I were going to graph it. So my vertex will be at the bottom. How do I find the vertex? So is this standard form or is this vertex form? I have 3 terms with no parentheses. That's standard form. Standard form is when you have ax squared plus bx plus c. And to find your vertex, you're going to use the equation negative b over 2a. And I think this is what people need a lot of practice on because they're still not consistently finding the vertex. So negative b would be positive 10, right? Because in that equation, it's negative 10. If I do a negative negative, it would become positive 10. What's my a value in this equation? There's nothing written in front of that squared. So it's 1. All right, this is 10 divided by 2. 5. So the x value is 5. I need to now find the y value because it says find the minimum value and the x value that created it. So 5 is the x value. What's the y value? So I have to plug 5 into the original equation and solve it. So I would do 5 squared minus 10 times 5 plus 21. I'd like to try that with a calculator. Oh, you know what? My calculators are. For some reason I paused my video. Here we go. We're doing number 2. So plug 1 back in. Order of operations. Negative 16 times 1 squared. Only the 1 gets squared. So you still have negative 16 times 1 plus 32 times 1. So I have a negative 16. I have a positive 32. That adds up to positive 16, right? So my height is 16 feet. So the maximum height is 16 feet. So max height of 16 feet at 1 second. So it goes up and then comes down. When would the ball land on the ground? So let's just think about what do we know about a parabola? We're launching it from the ground and it has to land on the ground. We know that parabolas are symmetrical. Huh? So at 1 second, it's at its highest point, right? So when would it be on the ground then? Another second after that, right? So it takes 1 second to go up in the air. If it's symmetrical, doesn't it also take 1 second to fall back down to the ground? So 2 seconds after launch. And that's what we are going to kind of do with our catapults. We're going to figure, okay, our ping pong ball was in the air for 3 seconds. Well, that means that at 1.5 seconds, it was at its highest point. At 3 seconds, it would touch the ground or something like that. All right, so I will walk around. You're going to try try 3 and 4. And then we're going to go backwards to do a couple from 213 if you finish those up. So try 3 and 4 on your own for a couple minutes. It's basically like the same type of video here going for the people who missed. So when I do negative B, this is B. So I do negative 2,000, and then 2 times A, this is A. So if you notice, they did not give you the equation in order. So that is still standard form, but you've got to put your A, B, C in order before you can start the problem. So this ends up coming out to positive 4, because you're taking negative 2,000 and dividing by negative 500. So if they give 4 of the reductions, right, because $5 reductions in price. So if I do a $5 sale, okay, now I'm going to do a $10 sale. If they put $20 sale, so 4 $5 reductions, now I have to figure out what is the income possible. So now I'm going to do the negative 250 times 4 squared plus 2,000 times 4 plus 60,000. This is going to give me a possible income. So remember, you're only squaring the 4, then you multiply by the negative 250. See what you get as your possible income. So $64,000 is their income. That's what I plugged in the 4. Okay, so some of you were on this last one. The dolphin is jumping out of the water. So here's my dolphin, right? It jumps out of the water and then it lands back in the water. So they want to know what's the maximum height of the dolphin and how far did it jump. So part B, they're asking you how far did it jump total, and they want to know how far it went out of the water. So I can come around and check your answer to that one, and then you're going to go backwards to, and then I plugged it back in, and I got 5. So I got 5 for the X and 5 for the Y. So this point right here, or I guess I shouldn't draw that. This height is actually 5 feet after 5 either seconds or 5 feet when he's 5 feet away. So the total jump then has to be 10. Because if he went 5 feet horizontally to go 5 feet in the air, then he goes another 5 feet horizontally to reach the water. So maybe the calculator handicapped us a little bit on not being able to calculate that.